3, 2, 1, go! Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Hey everyone, we're back with a new video. In today's video, I'm showing some highlights from my 2024 Rails to River mountain biking race experience. I did this race back in, I think, June of 2024, earlier this summer. And as per usual, I'm doing the 1-lap race, or the approximately 7 to 8 mile race. So the course was slightly different this year, as there was some construction on the normal starting portion of the race. So the race organizer just switched up the start. So we started on that gravel road, then we entered into these switchbacks just to spread out the field and make sure that we weren't too bunched up going into the single track portion of the race. I like to do these shorter 1-lap races, approximately 7 to 9 miles, because I still don't consider myself an endurance athlete. So I like just, these faster pace rides, about 45 minutes in length, just so that I can not have to pedal for so long. It's a little bit faster pace, which I think is more appropriate for my riding style and fitness levels. So now we're entering the single track portion of the race. So we're a little bit more spread out now, thankfully. And yeah, this part is still new compared to last year. So I don't think I've ever ridden on this section of the course before. And just like previous years, this race is at Lake Fairfax Park in Virginia. So there's definitely some fast and flowy sections, especially at the start of this race. But Lake Fairfax does also have a lot of rocks, a lot of roots, and a lot of short, punchy climbs.
Speed!
And as the name implies, there are a bunch of river crossings in this race, probably, 4 or 5 river crossings. And as you saw there, I kind of got caught behind some riders who didn't, have enough speed to get out of the river. So I ended up having to stop. And unfortunately, I had to stop right in the middle of the river. Both my feet got wet within the first mile of the race. But it is what it is. It just comes with the territory of racing.
Passing.
So here we have another creek crossing, which comes out to a sandy area. Kind of slipped a little bit right there. But the river crossings and the creek crossings definitely add a different, exciting element to the race. Because of course, once you cross the river, your tires get wet. And then for a couple minutes afterwards, you have pretty much no traction. So a lot of these sections with these flat rocks like this are slippery enough. And then once you add water to your tires, you're kind of just slipping around, fighting for traction. So makes everything a little bit more fun and interesting.
Passing.
So this is a pretty steep section right here. Normally in previous years, I was kind of forced to, or I tried to go over that flat rock on the right side. But this year, there was less people around me, so I was able to just kind of go off to the left a little bit. This is definitely a fast, fun, and flowy section right here. This is probably where, most people reach their top speed during the race. So I guess I'll talk about my bike a little bit. So I'm still riding the same bike that I've ridden for the past few years of these races. So this is a 2020 Trek Excalibur 8. It's an aluminum hardtail, so no suspension in the back, 100 millimeters of suspension in the front. And I've made a few upgrades over the years, so I added a dropper post, changed out the tires. So I'm running Maxxis Aspen tires, 2.25 inches. Added a bike computer, changed out the derailleur for SRAM GX, and just smaller stuff like changing out the grips and things like that. So thankfully this race was very early in the morning. I think it was 8 or 9 a.m. So it wasn't too hot out, and of course in the woods it's shaded. So I think the weather was pretty perfect this day. So not too hot, not too cold. Yeah, it was just right. So now we're entering, I think, one of the most popular parts of Lake Fairfax Park. So this is more of the groomed trails, a few jumps, big berms. So I think a lot of people who come to ride bikes here, this is the part of the trail that they probably ride the most often. So, fast and flowy and fun, not many routes like the other parts of the course. So this is always a fun part of the race right here. So even though this part of the course is, fast and fun, it's, getting to the latter half of the race, the second half of the race. So I'm definitely getting a little tired at this point. And even though it's a fun part, you're tired and, pushing as hard as you can. So you can enjoy the courses as you might enjoy it if you're just riding for fun. It's still fun, but you're breathing hard, your legs are hurting. You're just trying to think about the finish line at this point. Here's another one of those big river crossings. And I guess now is a good time to talk about some of the equipment that I bring on these races. So I usually bring minimal equipment because the race is so short. So I don't bring a backpack or anything like that. The only stuff I bring is my bike computer, which you can see in the frame there. I bring my watch. This year I decided to wear my Pixel watch, which has cell phone service on it. So, and if I ever crash or anything like that, I could make a phone call and just get some help that way. And in my bike jersey, I carry a multi-tool, Stan's tire dart, and a CO2 canister, as well as some energy gels. So very, very minimal equipment. I don't bring a pump, don't bring an extra tire. I am running tubeless tires, so hopefully the chances of me getting a flat are diminished. But the race is so short that if I did get a flat tire, the race would be pretty much over. I would just try and do my best to get back to the start so I can go home. But the race would be over. So I don't bring that much equipment on these shorter rides. If it was a longer race, in the middle of nowhere, I would definitely bring more equipment though. Now we're entering another fast part of the course, just a lot of steep downhills right here, pretty smooth. So this is always a place where you can try and get some speed, maybe make up a little bit of time. So we're coming up on a pretty treacherous part of the course just because there's kind of a drop off over there, and then you have this really rutted out river crossing. And then this year the race course took a sharp left. So normally you go straight in previous years, but you had to take a sharp left, so you lose pretty much all your speed going up that hill. So a nice part about this race, which is organized by EX2 Adventures, is they do offer some aid stations on the course, at least one, I think, and they have, volunteers along the course if you need help too. But, if you're a little bit more inexperienced rider, they do offer water and probably Gatorade and things like that. So if you need to stop and refuel, they have that for you. So now we're making our way back towards the start of the race where the finish line is. And, this race is a loop race, so you finish where you start. So we're heading back towards the finish line now. And I know that we're getting closer, so I'm trying to pick up the pace as much as I can. So there you saw a sign that said lap. So they do offer 1, 2, and 3 lap races. So if you're in the longer races, which happened after my race, you would, go on your second lap at that point. So around this time, I could sense that there was a rider behind me, and he had been behind me for a while, I think. So I wasn't sure what class he was in, if he was in the male open or 40 or something, but I knew who was behind me. So I figured there would be a sprint finish at the end, and of course there was. So we're approaching the finish line now. I will let the finish of the race play out, and hope you all liked the video, and I will catch you next time.